to make that come to life. Thank you so much. So you guys, a lot in store for you today. I would like to give a very warm welcome and a very loud Broad River welcome to Mr. Charlie Malouf.
All right. Just to sound, I don't think I need that mic. I think I've got one. All right. Thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate that. It's so good to be here today. It is so good to be here today. There's so many people to thank that made today possible. And so today just doesn't happen. The first purpose pause, we're just going to pause and thank the people who made today happen. So first of all, in the orange shirts, today is hosted by the Purpose Activation Committee. I won't call them all by name, but also we had some extended friends of the Purpose Activation Committee, and some of them are in the back, Emmeline and Myers, and then we've got like in our marketing team, Kim and Jim and Tiffany, but really give it up for our Purpose Activation Committee, and especially for Miss Lindsay Childress and Mrs. Heather Greenwood, without whom today would not have been possible. All right. Thank you guys for that. All right, the most important question we can ask. Why? Every 3-year-old knows that question. So we learn it early. Why? Why are we here? No, I am not asking that question rhetorically or philosophically. Literally, why are we here today? Why are we here today? I think it would probably be a good idea, generally at the beginning, to go through some intended outcomes for today. So literally, why we're here. You know, every August for the last few years, we've utilized this time to have a leadership summit. We've brought in all of our leaders and have really laid the groundwork to have a day like today. And without laying that groundwork today, a day like today could not have been possible. Imagine like 3 years ago us saying, hey, we're going to have a purpose summit. Well, what is that? Purpose summit? So we kind of eased our way into it. We're going to have a leadership summit, and then that morphed into a purpose summit. But who remembers this? Who was here 3 years ago? So some of you guys were in the room, and this was our second ever leadership summit, and it was Broad River Go. And from there, we had this great playbook, and we launched our 95-day challenge. And so that was Broad River Go. We were really excited about Broad River Go at the time. And we said at the time, it's, I think the first leadership summit in January 2016, we said it's going to be our worst ever leadership summit. And so we said, well, hopefully we'll get better and better at these. And so this is our first Purpose Summit. We'll stumble maybe our way through it a little bit, but it will get better and better. But we worked really hard to bring you a fantastic day today. And then last year was our Leadership Summit. Our Leadership Summit, Amplify and Ignite, and we launched another 95-day challenge following that Leadership Summit. Many of you guys were here. We had Gene Lunger, who's here with us again, one of our keynote speakers. And Joey Ryman and Inky Johnson. It was such a big summit, it spilled over into 2 days. And part of the process of launching a company's purpose statement that we learned from Joey's book, and this is our leadership summit from last year. And I want to just call one attention. Look at this graphic. You know, we had some beautiful graphics here. And guess what? We're going to have those again. We've got Angelique McAlpine in the back with us. Who doesn't love the power of live art? And so we connected with her really just like a week ago or so. And we said, hey, we give you guys insights into how this stuff kind of works sometimes. And so the power of live art, we'll digitize she's going to draw during our sessions. We'll digitize those and make those available so you can put them on T-shirts and things of that nature. And so part of what we learned from Joey's book was step 4, illustration. Be, do, say. Be it, do it, say it. You have to activate purpose throughout the organization. It doesn't just work if it's just 4 words on a page. Okay, move on, we're moving on to the next event. And so we said, really, we got to hold ourselves accountable to live it out all year long. And so from that, we formed a purpose activation committee. You guys have seen the pack. And so we've been pretty active all year long. And so that's our committee is really, it's been it's just been a joy to have this group together. And what we thought it would be and what it actually ended up being, it just blossomed into so much more. And you're going to get a chance to hear from them later today. But who is the Purpose Activation Committee? It's a diverse set of team members across multiple departments, because we want every department represented, who volunteer to meet weekly and to do work or readings above and beyond their day jobs to help us activate purpose, to study the topic of purpose. We've learned so much that there's like the whole science of purpose, and through various books, articles, podcasts, and who have been committed to helping us embed purpose into our culture on a daily basis. And so after we formed the Purpose Activation Committee, we said we're going to launch our year of purpose, okay? And so we said it's going to be a whole year theme. We're going to live it all year long. And so we've really been committed to the process. Michael Childers, where are you? Loves the process, right? It's the process. And so we've been committed to the process of educating ourselves, becoming students of the game, so students of the game of purpose, and doing purpose activities together, leading from purpose, serving with purpose, creating opportunities for us to take purpose into the field all year, and really becoming a company that is set apart to be a shining example for others as leading as pioneers of this new purpose movement that we believe is taking place across the globe. So how have we been activating purpose all year? Well, purpose begins with identity. Thank you for our marketing team who really kind of set the stage with our annual logo and our branding. And so we started with our branding identity, our logo, our annual playbook. We had our annual awards event. And I'm going to walk you through some of the things that we've been doing this year over the first 8 months. Our $1 Million Memory Makers, and we celebrated them in our premier performances. We said, hey, we like to say purpose begins with identity. It's one of our favorite phrases, and we latch onto that. And so we asked every store, hey, what's your store nickname? You tell us, what's your store nickname? And we need it by a certain date, like hurry up. And we had a few edits, and they came back and they gave us their nicknames. And we had a surprise, and we love surprises. We're going to activate some surprises today. We promise you guys, you're going to participate in some surprises. And so we surprised them with, their own logos, their own branding identity. And that was something we did, in February during one of our RX meetings. Following the launch of these store identities, because we're all about purpose and being purposeful, the Dreamville Drive, getting hype about the hype. Where's Chris Barrier? He's got his own whole brand on Voxer about everything hype related. And do you bring it into your store every single day, every single week? Every day. That's your purpose. That's your why. That's your identity, right? These guys are living it. And so then, just walking you back through a little bit through memory lane, who does this? We open 2 stores back to back. The merchandising and visual impact teams and the retail teams, we got the Wolf Pack and Oak City back to back, 2 days in a row. And so then a major investment on the company, we said we're going to take purpose on the road. And so there's a whole lot of planning to get ready for taking purpose on the road. And we wanted to have Orange Crush 3, but use that to be a memory maker tour. And how can we take memory on the road? So we asked ourselves that question. And so we did a few things to activate it. And this was our tour and our tour dates and our pit stops. We put a lot of work into this thing, the world's first ever high-purpose playbook planner, and led by Miss Heather Greenwood and team. And then we did purposeful spaces throughout all of our stores. Instead of like a whole showroom walk, we said, take 3 areas of your store. Take a vignette, take your guest counter, make it go from transactional to relational, and take your break room where you guys do life together. There's no rules, like it's just completely abstract. How would you do it? And we just had some, and then throughout the corporate office, right? And so this was like in our distribution center break room. This was a fueling Broad River's purpose, IT and BI. Or no, that was, yes, I think it was. And this is Marketingville. And so we just had some really amazing things come from purposeful spaces. And then we did, part of being a leader and doing purpose is doing purpose for others. We get fulfillment when we serve others. And so we made welcome home baskets for families served through Beds for Kids. And we took purpose, it was really important for us to take purpose through every nook and cranny of the company. If you go back through here, the dates include every department, not just the stores. This was something that was different that we did this year. We said we want to take purpose to the call center. We want to take purpose to operations. We want to take purpose to the accounting department. And so we just really held ourselves accountable to taking it to every single location, including 2 days, full days in Fort Mill on the beginning of into that. And so also we had our purpose breakout sessions, which were very, very memorable. Who participated in a purpose breakout session? And so what do you remember about those? Christian, what do you remember about the purpose breakout sessions?
Just connecting with people at a different level and getting to know folks that I work with regularly, as well as ones that I didn't, in a different way. As well as there's a lot of good self-discovery as going through that process.
Wonderful. Kevin Kimnon, where are you at? What do you remember about the purpose breakout sessions?
Just really people being vulnerable and just really connecting with each other and just taking it to a whole different level. So not just a guest experience, but just our own experiences within the store.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
Anybody else want to share about the impact of the purpose breakout sessions? Lynn, go ahead.
I think what I experienced was people begin to treat each other differently. When someone's vulnerable with you, then you treat them differently in a really positive way.
Anybody else?
I got a chance to meet people, like Christian said, that I don't normally meet, but now going forward, when I see them in the hallway, I can identify with them. I know them. I can speak to them. It was an awesome experience getting to know someone.
Yeah, like we stripped away the titles, and it was just like, hey, whatever the titles are, we're just gonna get together and let's share. And like, who would have conceived that we would have taken learnings from our readings from purpose and then created a playbook about those and then had these like really real, powerful, impactful conversations about getting to know someone and understanding their why at a really different level. Manny, you were really, we invited you into leading some of these breakout sessions. They were tear fest, I think. I don't know if that was you or them, but tell us about the raw emotions that you experienced during these breakout sessions.
They called me in from the bullpen. It was great. I think the PAC team did a really great job of keying in on some really simple but yet deep questions that forced all of us collectively in the group to kind of take a journey down memory lane to really understand things that define us, that we still hold on to, that last. And I love they always went long. The one thing I remember is the 15 minutes or 30 minutes, it always ended up being an hour and a half because it was a blessing to hear someone's story.
Yeah.
And them to share those memories. So I cherish that.
That's awesome, Manny. And so speaking of sharing stories, Autumn, can I just pick on you for a moment? So you came on the Orange Crush tour. So Autumn, who's leading our company right now and is a trailblazer, I had someone at dinner last night said, and I heard Autumn Zimmer's going to be there tomorrow. I can't wait to meet her. And so Autumn's on pace to write $2 million this year. And that's with like taking 4 weeks out and volunteering on the road with us and on our $1 Million Writer panels but you were in a lot of these breakout sessions and you got to share a little bit of your story. Tell us about like your why and sharing your story and what that meant for you that you're comfortable sharing.
So to me it was very awesome. Everybody sharing their stories just kind of inspired me to to share mine too, because you never know like what other people are going through, and like your story can help them. And so that's, I mean, we go through these things so that we can share our stories and impact others and make a difference.
Wow, that's powerful. You never know what your conversation or what your experience is, how that can be used to help someone else. And that's just a powerful testimony. Thank you for sharing that. So just, I won't hang out too much there. But then we had an opportunity during the middle of Orange Crush 3, a pastor friend of mine said, hey, we're doing Movement Day Charlotte again. We'd love for Broad River to represent and speak on business as mission. And it was on 3/16. We got to go with 16 of our team members from Broad River, which was really special for us. It was a citywide gathering of nonprofit leaders and church leaders and then business leaders, just for a citywide gathering of worship and just leadership, and how we can just people who love the city and looking after the well-being of the city. I was reluctant to present, and Manny and Workman really encouraged me and said, no, this is a powerful story, what's taking place at Broad River. It's not even about us, but go represent us. And so I did, but I said only if they'll change the name from Business as Mission to Business as Purpose. And so that's what we spoke on at Movement Day Charlotte. And then also we've been activating purpose with our one-for-one events. And these have been like just a big wake-up call. We said, hey, why not? And so we did this for Mother's Day because really we hadn't done it in a little bit. And we always give a little bit from every mattress sale to help support kids in need of a mattress. But we said, what if we did a lot more? What if we just said for every mattress we sold, we'd give one away for a whole week across all of our stores? And so we had a goal of 300 that first week, and I think we did 480. 480 was the number. And then we really wanted to help inspire, because the conversation was taking place nationally, like what could we do this nationally? And so we did inspire corporate to have Sleep Week for all of Ashley Home Stores, and many Ashley Home Stores donated mattresses. And so last week, August 13th through the 19th, we had a target of 600. We doubled our target from 300 to 600, and we sold 688. And so in two... And so in 2 weeks, we've given away 1,168 mattresses. Better said, 1,168 children who didn't have a bed to call their own now have a bed to call their own, or will have a bed once we finish delivering the final 688 across all of our local markets. And that's been really, really powerful and inspiring that movement across the country. And so, we've also had, carefully orchestrated Memory Maker events and semi-annual awards and Memory Maker awards. And we've volunteered. The leadership team took it upon themselves to adopt, really, St. Jude. And we said, well, what if we could create these private events and ask for micro donations, $20 or $25, what if? And they set a goal, a modest goal of $50,000 for the year. And each store had a goal as part of their plan. And we've already raised, we hit 100,000 at the mid-year point, and we're at close to 130, and we're on pace to 200,000, 4 times our goal, just from micro donations from our leadership team saying we're going to be purposeful and create these special private events. And I asked our folks, well, do you get any pushback? And yeah, well, sometimes, but then really, you're not going to help kids fight cancer and for a good deal? So, we're not trying to guilt anyone into doing good. They can certainly opt out, but it does go for a good cause. And we take a margin hit because we want to just help encourage them to do good and give them a good deal in the process. And then we've asked our Purpose Activation Committee members, hey, just to lead from the front, right? And be vulnerable and get out front and write leadership messages in the currents. And so they've really been doing that. And guess what? We got Purpose Bombs yesterday. We've had Purpose Bombs all year. And so a member of our Purpose Activation Committee, who is actually out on maternity leave, was thinking about us, and she Purpose Bombed the pack yesterday. So that was a pretty special surprise that we had. And these are just some pictures from some purpose bombs, and hopefully, and so it's just kind of been memorable. And then we also had our Founders Scholarship Fund, and we were able to give away 5 scholarships totaling $50,000 to support the people of Broad River. And so that was something really purposeful and impactful that we've done today. Okay, Purpose 828. And so my point being is that we've really been committed, as you can see, through just the first 8 months to living out purpose all year, being intentional and on purpose, and holding ourselves accountable to the study of purpose. So we said the logical next step is to bring it into from a general leadership summit to a purpose summit. So we want to start with our leaders. We want to arm our leaders. First of all, we don't have the space for everybody, and so we can't carve out everyone, but it all starts with the leaders. And today is about arming you guys with to better understand the science of purpose, okay? And to provide you with the tools to bring it more vividly into your own life and then into the lives of all of our people. Yes, the lives. Yes, the lives. And so we don't just care about your work life at Broad River. And we've tried to do some things to demonstrate that throughout the year. Your whole life matters. You cannot compartmentalize purpose to just what you do at work. We care about every aspect of your life. And when you bring meaning and fulfillment to every aspect of your life with purpose, then we believe you will live a more fulfilled, healthier, well-balanced life. We believe that's important. So caring for your whole life includes not only your career, but things like relationships, parenting, financial well-being, leadership, recreation, spirituality, personal development, and contribution beyond oneself. You guys agree with that? Yes. We've got such good people here, man. And the point being, purpose is alive and well at Broad River. And you can feel it every day on daily connection meetings. You can feel it throughout Voxer. You can feel it, like I said, in the currents, spontaneous surprises like purpose bombs. And so we just know that it's alive and well. So I got a quick story I want to share with you guys about the name Purpose 828. And so, I'm a pretty simple person. I just said, hey, this is going to be a purpose summit. Like, Broad River's Purpose Summit. Like, I thought, hey, come on, Purpose Summit. We had Leadership Summit, Purpose Summit. And, sometimes, you don't kind of get the buy-in, and sometimes you're a little bit blind to it, and you don't see it right away. And so finally I said, guys, what's going on? Like, talk to me. Like, you're not loving the name Purpose Summit? And so someone had the courage, no, we're not feeling it. Great, all right. Well, okay, well, what is it? Well, this is the pack. All right, well, what do you like? If you don't like Purpose Summit, what do you like? And because if you're not digging that name, what's wrong with it? They thought it was too generic, too plain. Okay, all right. So, sometimes, if you're not going to be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. So what do you got? So someone said, well, what about motivate and inspire? Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. Motivate and inspire. Well, it's purpose. Maybe it'll motivate, maybe it'll inspire, but it's really something more intrinsic. And so, I was like, we were scrambling. What about day of purpose? We had week of purpose, year of purpose. Nah, that doesn't really roll off the tongue, day of purpose. What about purpose day? No. And so today's summit, what's today? It's August 28th. So simplicity, sometimes less is more. And so as a pack, we finally agreed upon the simplistic and literal name of Purpose 828. There's a Purpose 2020 conference next year. Imperative has Purpose 2030. And Broad River has Purpose 828. So I love the name Purpose 828. And I was recently reminded, and I just want to share this with you guys. I was recently reminded of something that's important to me, is a well-known verse from the New Testament about purpose. I took my family. I got invited to go see Inky Johnson speak again. And so I wanted to take my family to go see him. And he was speaking at Transformation Church a few weeks ago. And during the service, the first verse that they mentioned was Romans 8:28, which says, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. And, it just kind of like hit me upside the head. And so personally, I find it very affirming that the most well-known verse in the Bible about purpose is Romans 8:28, and our Purpose Summit and full day devoted to the study of purpose is Purpose 8:28. My personal belief is that God has had his active hands on our business, and which is really encouraging and comforting to me. So, some of us believe that, and I tend to be one, that the Lord marked this day a long time ago, long before we ever knew it existed. And I think it's really cool, the 8:28, Purpose 8:28, and Romans 8:28. So I like to draw that connection there. So back to the first question, why are we here? Sorry for the long-winded response on getting to the answer. I'm going to bring it down the final stretch run. We are here to bring in all of our leaders to spend a day studying the topic of purpose to continue the process. It's just a moment in time. We are going to introduce you to national thought leaders on purpose, both organizational purpose and personal purpose, to help you bring meaning and fulfillment to your work and to every aspect of your life. Zach Mercurio has done extensive work on this topic. We've provided his book, or will provide if you haven't received it yet, to every one of you. It's called The Invisible Leader, and it's been our favorite book as a pack that we've studied this year, and we've really loved it. I've underlined and starred every single page. I've really dug into it, gone through it multiple times. His material is outstanding and best in class to kick us off this morning. And then, at the end of the day, and so there's Zach, and he looks just like his picture. I met him earlier this morning. And so I can't wait to hear what he's going to say. And then at the end of the day, we're going to bring in Justin Jones-Fosu, the event energizer. He's going to bring energy and help us understand how we can activate purpose for peak performance today. We've also provided a copy of his book to each of you. And today we're going to bring you up to speed on the purpose journey that the pack has been on, and to help us gain alignment as we begin to think about the future of work. We want to build a sustainable company, you guys heard us say this, that will stand the test of time. We believe that begins with a strong foundation, a solid identity, a meaningful purpose, and a team of people who are driven to infuse purpose into all that they do. Speaking of identity, we believe that purpose and identity are inextricably linked. And so the good-looking fella here, also in the back, Justin Barnes, Vice President of Operations for Furnitureland. Not Furnitureland South, he's Furnitureland out of Delaware. And he will speak on the topic of purpose and our authentic identity. And he's going to really bring it as well. And it's going to be an excellent foundational topic when delving into the study of purpose. So in addition to Justin, we've brought in purpose leaders from other Ashley Home Store licensees, our good friend, and well-respected home furnishings retailers to share their insights with us. Broad River is open for business. And what do I mean by that? That means we're open to learning from others and committed to the process of receiving feedback to help us get better individually as well as organizationally. So my good friend Janine Moniz, Director of Organizational Development for our good friends at Factory Direct in New York and New Jersey. In New Jersey, who have a very strong culture like ours and comparable size, will present a very practical session for all leaders on coaching to the why. She'll also have a second session, day 2, for those of you who can stick around. And, we're also going to hear from our wonderful PAC members about their journey. So 5 of our PAC members are going to take some questions from a moderated session, and then you'll have your own chance to ask questions throughout each of the speakers. We think it's important to talk about what we've learned, particularly around a topic that began with activating our company's purpose and furnishing life's best memories, and has really delved into personal purpose discovery and how we can bring those two together, and then how we can lead others with a purposeful mindset and why that matters. So we believe that today is imperative to establishing a solid foundation for the future of our company. Speaking of imperative, we've talked about the software platform all year since OC3. We're going to study the purpose movement, and we'll be officially launching the much anticipated Imperative.com peer coaching and purpose software platform to our company today. Many of you have your badges on here. You've taken the assessment. Thank you for that. We're really going to get into that, and Heather's going to take us through a session on that today. And then we're going to break off into pairs and do some true peer coaching. And then my very good friend, Dr. V, who's taught me everything in the world I know about merchandising, marketing, and selling mattresses and sleep. This thing's bleeding over into day 2. We couldn't keep you guys here till midnight, although if you want, we will stay. But we're going to let you go home and get some rest. So he's going to come back tomorrow morning and talk about the science of selling sleep with purpose. It's going to be a really, really powerful talk. And he's fired up, and I've heard he might be in the lab coat. We'll see. Also like to introduce, we got some other, we have these events, we have some backstage passes and additional guests. And so Dr. V has brought 3 additional team members from Miskelly Furniture, our good friends in Central Mississippi, and they're continuing to grow. And so we're going to continue to share insights with them. We've known them, Oscar Miskelly, Chip and Tommy are Jonathan Ishey's uncle, for those of you who don't know, and that's where the connection really began, and we've continued it and maintained it. Ashley Corporate at AFI has 4 representatives here from Buddy Eubanks, our good friend, VP of Business Development, Kevin Thompson, Anthony Bakken, who was also here last year, and the famous Mr. Gene Lunger, Executive Vice President, who's everyone's got a lot going on, and Gene's got a lot going on, and he could choose a lot of places to be. And we're so grateful that you guys have chosen to be with us today and over this week. So thank you guys for that. And also, our good friend Sean Seals is back with us today. And so we're excited to have, and Maureen Daly, formerly of K-Force, is visiting us from Tampa. And Bradley Sullivan. Are you Bradley? All right, so day 0. We had some guys had day 0 last year. Bradley Sullivan is here as well. And it's his day 0. And so, guys, there's a lot. We'll be covering a lot of ground, a lot of content. I need to ask you something. Can you give your absolute best today? Yeah. I mean, can you bring it? Yeah. Broad River, okay. We need it because, team, you are the difference. You are the memory makers, okay? You are the leaders of Broad River Retail. We will go and grow as far as the people in this room choose to take us, period. Yes. And when you think about how far we can go and grow as a company, with the leaders sitting in this room today, I ask you to consider the following. Every resource in the world is limited except our potential. I will say it once more. Let me repeat that. Every resource in the world is finite and limited except for one, our potential. And that's really, really, really exciting. Furnishing Life's Best Memories begins with the people in this room. If we are going to make an impact and be that company that's a shining example of what it means to live and work with purpose, then it will only come from the hearts and minds of the people in this room. I love the idea of furnishing Life's Best Memories for other people. It's not only deeply fulfilling, it's also a lot of fun. And by the way, I'm not aware of any other company in our industry doing something like this. There are a few purpose summits out there, and not many, but a few. And the few other purpose summits are attended by multiple companies represented across multiple industries. And typically, it's just their human capital or HR people. In fact, as a PAC, we'll be attending Purpose 2030 in New York City in October so that we can continue to learn and bring that practical knowledge back to Broad River. Purpose 828 is a full day for Broad River Retail to press pause and say, hey, this topic of purpose is important. So much so that we're going to press pause, bring every leader in our company in and study this topic for a full day. This is a working day. Let me remind you, this is a working day. Better yet, think of it like this. Today is a thinking day. The philosopher Descartes famously posited, I think, therefore I am. And so I'll leave you with this. I'm staring at over 100 miracles. Life is a miracle. You've heard us say that before. Life is a miracle. Each of us is a walking miracle, uniquely created and designed for a purpose. Knowing that each of us is a walking miracle, proof of the miracle of life, knowing our identity, knowing that we have a unique calling and a unique purpose to bring to the world can help each of us weather any storm that may come during our lives. Yes, there will be storms. You all have felt them. I've felt them. We've all felt them. There will be storms. But we all have the beautiful gift of life. Better yet, we also have the gift of freedom of thought. So we are calling on our leaders to invest in themselves today and make time to reflect on the topic of purpose. We have prepared all year for this day and have poured our hearts and souls into delivering one of life's best memories for each of you today. We're going to keep you well fed, well hydrated, plenty of breaks, and the best curated content that we can bring to a single day. So much that it will bleed over into a second day. But we need your full energy, your peak state, your commitment and attention to making this day as memorable as it can be. I think that I've got your commitment. I feel the commitment in the room. And as leaders, and studying leaders, I've come to appreciate the fact that great leaders ask great questions and then take the time to listen for the answers and insights. Many of you know that we've studied habits this year and the power of habits. Dr. Stephen Covey, in his best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, listed the 5th habit is this: seek first to understand. And that's one of my favorite leadership axioms. And you want to know the best way to understand something or someone? Just ask why. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to start.